Level 1. The Prince. You are 26 years old. St. Petersburg, 1894. You are a young Russian prince who has grown up in the immense luxury of the Winter Palace. You spend your pleasant days riding royal horses, attending grand military parades, and loving the beautiful Princess Alex of Hesse. You do not care for complex politics, and you have never been prepared to rule the vast Russian Empire. But the sudden death of your father, Tsar Alexander III, changes your fate forever. You stand in the palace hall, weeping in silence, knowing that you are now the Tsar of all the Russias. You whisper to your cousin that you are not ready and that you do not even know how to speak to ministers. You feel the heavy weight of the crown and the cold wind of a changing century, but the dynastic duty is absolute. Level 2. The Omen. You are 28 years old. Moscow, 1896. Your coronation is grand, but tragedy strikes early. During a public festival on the Kodinka field, thousands of excited citizens rush to get free souvenir cups and beer. The crowd panics, and over 1,000 poor people are crushed to death in the mud. You are deeply horrified, but your advisors tell you that you must attend the French ambassador's ball tonight to maintain critical diplomacy. You go to the ball, smiling in silence, while your people weep for their dead. The citizens look at you, seeing a cold, indifferent ruler who cares more for French wine than Russian blood. The shadow of the Kodinka tragedy follows you, and the nickname of Nicholas the Bloody is born. Your reign begins with a dark omen, which you cannot escape. Level 3. The Monk. You are 36 years old. Tsarskoye Selo, 1904. You are happily married to Alex, now Empress Alexandra. You have 4 beautiful daughters, but you desperately need a male heir to continue the dynasty. Finally, Alexandra gives birth to Alexei, a sweet baby boy, but your great joy is turned to horror. The boy has hemophilia, a genetic disease that makes his blood unable to clot. A simple scrape could bleed him to death. The doctors are helpless, and Alexandra is driven to madness by grief. She turns to a mysterious peasant monk from Siberia, Grigory Rasputin, who seems to have a strange, hypnotic power to heal the boy. You let the dark monk enter your palace, hoping for a miracle, but the snake is now in the house, and his toxic shadow will slowly destroy your dynasty. Level 4. The East. You are 36 years old. Port Arthur, 1904. To expand your empire in the East, you slide into a war with Japan. You believe that Russia is a giant, and Japan is just a small nation of islands. You expect a swift victory, but the war is a complete disaster. Your soldiers are poorly supplied, your generals are incompetent, and your fleet is destroyed at the Battle of Tsushima. The world looks on in shock as the Russian giant is beaten. Back home, the people are furious. They are hungry, tired, and losing faith in your divine rule. You look at the reports, your flat mouth rigid, your imperial pride broken. You are forced to sign a humiliating peace treaty, and the embers of revolution begin to glow in the dark, threatening to burn down the ancient throne of your ancestors. Level 5. Bloody Sunday. You are 36 years old. St. Petersburg, January 1905. Thousands of workers march peacefully to the Winter Palace. They hold crosses, singing hymns, and carrying a petition begging you to help them get bread and freedom. You are not at the palace, but your soldiers are nervous. As the crowd approaches, the guards open fire. The white snow turns red with the blood of hundreds of men, women, and children. This is Bloody Sunday. You are shocked by the tragic news, but the damage is done. The people no longer see you as their loving father, but as a cold murderer. Strikes and riots explode across the land, forcing you to create the Duma, a parliament, but you secretly plot to take back all power and restore the absolute autocracy. refusing to share your power. Level 6. The Shadow. You are 44 years old. St. Petersburg, 1912. The shadow monk Rasputin is now the most powerful man in the court. He drinks, scandals the nobility, and controls the Empress Alexandra. She believes that Rasputin is a saint sent by God to save Alexei, and you are too weak to argue with her. The nobles are disgusted, and the people believe that the government is run by a mad peasant. Rumors of treason fill the city. You ignore the warnings, believing that the Tsar's power is absolute and divine. The royal family is isolated, locked inside their private palace, while the country outside is building a volcano of hatred. You do not see the warnings, but the final end is already approaching, and the ticking clock of history cannot be stopped as your enemies plot in the dark. Level 7. The Front. You are 46 years old. East Prussia, 1914. The Great War begins. You mobilize your massive army to defend Serbia against Germany. At first, the streets are filled with patriotic cheers, but the German cannons are brutal, and millions of Russian soldiers are slaughtered in the mud. The economy collapses, and the cities starve. In a desperate move, you leave the capital, going to the front lines to take personal command of the army. You believe that your presence will inspire the troops, but it is a fatal mistake. Every defeat is now blamed on you, while back in St. Petersburg, the Empress and Rasputin make a mess of the government. The people are cold, hungry, and ready to strike. The empire is bleeding, and you do not know how to stop the war or save your millions of citizens from the endless slaughter. Level 8. The Train. You are 48 years old. Petrograd, February 1917. The winter is freezing, and there is no bread. Women stand in long lines for hours before starting a massive strike. The riots spread, and you order the garrison to suppress the rebellion. But this time, the soldiers refuse to shoot. They turn on their officers, joining the crowds in the streets. The capital is lost. You try to return on a royal train, but the tracks are blocked by rebel soldiers. Your generals tell you that the army will not fight for you, and that your abdication is the only way to save Russia from a bloody civil war. You stand in the train carriage, looking at the cold snow outside, feeling completely alone. Your power is gone, and your family's empire is lost forever. Level 9. The Prisoner. You are 48 years old. Pskov, March 1917. You take a pen and sign the document of abdication. You give up the throne for yourself and for your sixth son Alexei, leaving the crown to your brother Michael, who refuses it. The Romanov dynasty is dead after 300 years. You are no longer the Tsar. You are now just Nicholas Romanov, a prisoner of the state. You return to your family, and you are locked inside your palace under guard. The soldiers who once bowed to you now spit on your name. You spend your days walking in the garden, chopping wood, and trying to comfort your weeping wife. You feel a strange sense of relief, but the shadow of the future is dark, and the cage is locked, leaving you with no hope of escape from the fires of this revolution. Level 10. The Snow. You are 49 years old. Tobolsk, Siberia, 1917. The new government sends you deep into Siberia to protect you from the angry crowds. You live in a simple wooden house, surrounded by snow. You chop wood, read books to your children, and pray in silence. You hope that you will be allowed to exile to England, but your cousin King George V refuses to help, fearing his own public. In October, the radical Bolsheviks led by Lenin seize power. They hate you, and they move you to Ekaterinburg, locking you inside the Ipatov house, which they call the House of Special Purpose. The windows are painted white, and you cannot see the sky. The final trap is closed, and the shadows of your executioners are closing in. Level 11. The Cellar. You are 50 years old. Ekaterinburg, July 1918. In the dark hours of the night, you are awakened. You are told to bring your family to the cellar for safety. You carry your sick son Alexei in your arms, while Alexandra and your daughters follow. You stand in the small stone room, waiting. Suddenly, the door opens, and the guards enter with pistols. The leader announces that you have been condemned to death. You stand in shock, whispering, "What? What?" The shooting begins. The small room is filled with white smoke, screaming, and the smell of blood. You fall first, and your family is slaughtered next to you. The bodies are burned and thrown into a forest pit. Your dynasty is gone, and you are history. The imperial crown is turned to dust, and the last Tsar is gone forever.